everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing some Reddit Let's Not Meet post. I said that weird. We're going to be reading some Reddit Let's Not Meet post in honor of it being Halloween week. We are going to be reading some of these that might be a little bit creepy and spook you out a little bit. And I tried to find like ghost stories that I could find, but I couldn't find any for some reason. Like they were just, it wasn't what I was going for. So I was like, let's just do some Reddit Let's Not Meet post instead. I've done some of these on my other channel, so if you want to see more of this, there's some over there. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first one says, I am confident I would have become a missing persons case. Okay, to better paint the picture, here is a description of myself at the time of this incident 3 years ago. 5'5", 26-year-old woman, middle-length bleach blonde hair, curvy, 175 pounds, wearing black high-waisted tights and a pink crop top. Okay, 3 years ago, I was walking home at night from my friend's house. It was dark, and at the time, I lived in a rough part of a large city. I've had many sketchy situations that I have gotten myself out of, so I guess I felt sort of invincible, like nothing truly scary could happen to me. When I walk alone, I always stay very alert and aware of my surroundings for my own safety, just in case. About halfway home and roughly 10 minutes to my apartment, I noticed a van starting trailing me. I was used to this since in my city, it's very common for a young woman in a rough area to get positioned for sex. It's embarrassing how desensitized to this I was. I did my usual and crossed the road that I would be walking beside the traffic heading in the opposite direction. I wasn't scared, just annoyed. The van then turned down a side street, then back onto the road I was on and pulled up next to me. At this point, I still wasn't scared. Again, this has happened so many times, it never mattered if I was wearing something that showed more skin or if I was wearing a winter coat zipped from just below my chin all the way down to my ankles. That area is notorious for that type of activity. I decided to be firm and told the person sternly, I'm not interested. I noticed there were two men in the van. They looked almost identical and may have been twins or brothers. Both men had a very, very dark complexion, very dark eyes, and short dark hair. The van didn't move. I was super annoyed and crossed the road again to get away. At this point, I figured this would be enough for them to stop following me. They didn't. They kept circling back every time I crossed the road. I've never had to put that much effort into getting a horny pervert to leave me alone. So this is when I started feeling unsafe. Girl, this is when you started feeling unsafe. They zipped by me at the speed the traffic was flowing in, and I yelled for them to F off. I thought it finally worked. It had been 3 minutes and I hadn't seen the van, so I thought I was in the clear. Just in case, I pulled my phone out and was getting ready to call my sister that I lived with. Just then, the van pulled up to me very quickly, and before I could even blink, one of the men jumped out of the van, opened the back door, and approached me quickly in an aggressive manner, as if he was about to scoop me up and throw me into the vehicle. Oh my god. The traffic in that area is very inconsistent. It was dead, and I imagine that it is what they were waiting for. Just as the man was about to place his hand on me, I tilted my phone and said, you are being filmed in my live video chat. I gave my friends your license plate number and the police have been notified. Oh my god. Just as the man, I was so scared, but I didn't let that show. I stayed as calm as I could. The man paused like he was considering if I was bluffing or telling the truth, so I tilted the phone more, as if to give the fake audience a better look at him. He then jumped into the van and they sped off. I have never been the same since that night. I'm afraid of walking alone even in the daytime. Stay safe out there. Oh my god. Two creeps in a van. Let's not ever meet. I hope karma finds you both soon. That's literally so terrifying, you guys. Stay safe. Let's keep going. Okay, so this one says, at first I thought I was going crazy, but now I'm pretty sure somebody has been entering my apartment while I'm at work. Okay, so it says, so this has been happening for about a year and a half now, and tonight something happened that finally made me and my boyfriend realize that I wasn't imagining things. About a year and a half ago, after living in my apartment for over 5 years, I all of a sudden started noticing that things would be out of place when I would get home from work. Things that almost seemed out of place on purpose to mess with my OCD. Sometimes I would notice knives that were put back into the knife block the wrong way, or little ornaments that I would have around the house being turned to face the wrong way. Sometimes my clothes were hung up in my closet the wrong way. Little things like that where I would feel something was off, but there was no way to prove it. And in all honesty, could have just been me being absent-minded and putting my things away the wrong way. After a couple months of things randomly being out of place and always having that creeped out feeling, things stopped going out of place, and I put it to the back of my mind and stopped being so paranoid and moved on with my life. That is until about 2 weeks ago. I'm afraid to keep reading. For the past couple of weeks, my cat has seriously been trying to tell me something when I have gotten home from work. Any of you who have a cat will know the exact meow. It's not an I'm hungry or an I'm pissed off because you've been at work all day meow, but a OMG, you would never believe what happened to meow, if that makes sense. I didn't really think anything of it because cats can be jerks sometimes, and I just assumed he was just bored and wanted to complain. The other day when I came home from work, I noticed a pair of balled up socks that do not belong to me sitting on my bedroom floor. My boyfriend came over the next night and I told him he had left a pair of his socks here when he had stayed over on the weekend. He looked at the socks and said that they were not his socks. My heart sunk, and so did his. We both knew that someone had been coming into my house again, and that I probably wasn't imagining it the first time. A few days later, I came home from work and found a bag from a lingerie store on top of my couch. It was empty. This bag had come from inside my house, as I had just bought a bathing suit from that store a couple of weeks prior, and the receipt for that was in the bag. At first, I thought my cat might have dragged it there, but upon inspecting the bag, there were no teeth marks, as well as my cat couldn't have opened my closet door and gone into the paper cardboard recycling that I kept in there on the top shelf. The final and perhaps the most unsettling thing happened tonight. My boyfriend met me after work and we went out for dinner. We went back to my apartment after, and I went to unlock my door and noticed that it was already unlocked. Locking the door when I leave my house is the one thing that I am most OCD about. I don't just double and triple check it, I quadruple check it. It is not just a habit I have, but sometimes that is deeply ingrained into me. Everyone who knows me knows this about me, as if I do this to their doors. I have to check 4 times or I get an icky feeling. Even my boyfriend was on red alert when he noticed my door was unlocked. We entered my house and I was checking to see if anything was out of place. He ran to the sliding glass door and tugged it, and it opened right away. I never leave that door unlocked. He witnessed me lock it on Sunday when I closed the door because it was getting too cold. He saw me check it 4 times. I have not opened it since then. We are both convinced somebody has been in my house. Whoever has been coming in somehow has a key. The fact that they left the sliding door unlocked makes me think that maybe they are planning to come back with ill intentions. If they have a key, why would they need to unlock the sliding door unless they don't want to be identified by the security cameras at the front of the building? Oh my god. Either way, I have already ordered a security system, but unfortunately it's not going to arrive for a few days. Any suggestions on anything I can do in the meantime to keep safe? Also, what do you guys think? Am I just being paranoid, or should I go with my gut on this one? Definitely not being paranoid. I'm not like super OCD or anything like that, but I have a pretty good knowledge of like where I leave things, especially like in my room and stuff. And I can always tell if someone comes in my room or if things have been moved. You just get the vibe, like you just know you're not being paranoid. There's actually some edits at the top of this as well, so let's read those. Okay, so update. Changed my locks the other day and set up the security cameras. So for nothing else has happened, and I haven't caught anything on the security cameras other than my cat doing this thing during the day when I'm gone. My landlord got back to me about the security footage from the front door and said the only strangers she saw were bussed into the building by residents, so no weirdos or previous tenants with keys. The police are still patrolling my neighborhood quite often, which definitely makes me feel more secure. You know what? I feel like because they have a key, it could literally be the landlord, or it could be like maintenance people. I've seen so many scary stories about maintenance people like going into residents' apartments because they have access to all the keys too, right? Stay safe. The fact that, like, I don't know what's scarier, someone breaking into your house on a one-time thing and like completely ransacking the place and like robbing you, or someone that comes into your house multiple times and like never really does anything. Like they move stuff here and there, but like they're not really doing anything. That to me is scarier. Anyway, I hope that she stays safe and no one gets hurt. Let's move on. Okay, the next one says, I live below a cult leader and I fear I've angered her. You guys, this one's also verified, so she's true. She's like for real. Let's read it. I, 28-year-old female, have lived in the same apartment for 4 years. My neighbors in the unit above me are a couple in their 30s who have lived there for about 3 years and with no issues between us. During the past 6 months, I've noticed some changes in their behaviors. At first, it was just a few days per week. I'd hear music with heavy bass accompanied by rhythmic jumping. I assume they bought an exercise bike or something, but sometimes the jumping gets so intense that it shakes my overhead light fixtures. The jumping routine has been escalating to the point that it takes place every day, normally between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. That is too early to be jumping. I also noticed that they called 1-800-JUNK and got rid of a lot of nice possessions. However, I figured none of this was my business, so I kept my observations to myself. About 3 weeks ago, everything escalated multiple times per week, on weekdays and during working hours. It sounds like they're hosting a mini Burning Man event in their apartment. The music is so loud and clear that it sounds as if I'm at a concert while sitting in my living room. There's clearly a lot of people involved because the jumping/stomping shakes multiple light fixtures and cabinets. That is so annoying. The music is a mix of new age spiritual vibes, dance beats, and a male voiceover giving weird instructions like rebrand yourself, surrender yourself, stomp stomp in response. I've taken audio recordings on my phone and one video from the hallway during these events. I still didn't complain to the building, but I wanted evidence in case it became a regular thing. This week, I've encountered a big problem. The couple above me have a private patio, which is directly above my bedroom. I came home from a 3-day trip out of town yesterday, and my ceiling is legitimately collapsing in one corner. Big chunks of plaster have fallen to the ground, and I saw a little water. I immediately called my superintendent since I don't want to be buried alive by ceiling rubble if it gets out. When he came to check it out, he was shocked and pissed. He said that that woman in the couple appears to be working with some people during workshops or something. You can see their patio from his apartment window and has watched the group do these dancing plus jumping plus dirt rituals out there on a weekly basis. He said they all dance and jump to music and then spread dirt along with something else he doesn't know what it is across the patio on a weekly basis. He believes that the dirt plus unknown substance combo is getting through the wood cracks, absorbing water and weighing down my ceiling. In order to fix the problem, my super said he had to go talk to the woman, check out their patio, and ultimately hire a contractor to pull up the wood, scrape out whatever the hell is causing my ceiling to fall. I could hear them talking from my room, and the woman sounded distraught and defensive. When my super left, he called me and warned me that she might try to come down to my apartment and demand to see the damage, but don't let her in. This was a little concerning to me. Is she a threat? The damage is real. I wouldn't mind showing her. She started playing her music again relatively Shortly after everything went down, I left my apartment to run errands. The woman was outside just standing in the sidewalk and stared at me the whole time as I walked by. Oh my god, I ignored her. This isn't my fault. Now today I went to run another quick errand in the neighborhood. When I returned, the couple was again standing on the sidewalk. Both of them this time followed me into the building and then waited until I was opening my apartment door to confront me. They were both wearing creepy fake smiles. Oh my god. I am literally getting chills. The woman has horse girl hair down to her waist and started interrogating me. They asked, "Is your ceiling really collapsing? When did it start? Do you think it was related to the recent rainfall? Because our patio is just fine." I was a little uncomfortable. Were they waiting for me outside? How did they know I even left the building? Why were they both standing there? I've literally never seen them enter together in their 3 years of living here, but I have nothing to hide, so I confirm the damage is pretty bad. I just don't want it to fall during the winter. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but hopefully the work will be done quickly for everyone's sake. They seemed satisfied enough, so I said have a good day and shut my door. I'm getting the sense that they're nervous about what the contractors will find when they tear up their patio. What the F is the dirt rituals? Who are these people she's working with? I don't know what they look like or why they're available. That stop around on weekends. The repair work has started on both sides, but the contractors will come on Wednesday for the grand reveal of what's under the patio and what's making my ceiling collapse. In the meantime, I feel like I need to be alert and keep my eyes out for these people, as well as the couple. It's unusual for me to see them in general, especially twice in 2 days. They seem scared and in denial of the problem. They also literally ambushed me. Hopefully it's over soon. Honestly, that seems kind of dangerous. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Anyway, I hope that they stay safe and nothing escalates with this one. Cults are so scary because I won't get into it. Cults literally terrify me though, so hopefully everything's well. Let's move on. Okay, you guys, this one's kind of spooky, but it says, I woke up to a hooded figure standing over me. Y'all, one time I woke up in the middle of the night, like opened my eyes kinda. I wasn't really like waking up, but I just kind of opened my eyes, and I swear on everything I saw someone. I'm not even joking. I opened my eyes like somewhat, and I swear I saw someone like wearing like a hood and like all black standing next to my bed. And so at that point, like, I closed my eyes for a second, and then I was like, wait a minute, and I like opened my eyes and like jumped up, and there was no one there. So it could have just been me, like residual dream juice or whatever. I really don't know. And like, I woke up super quick, so like the person wouldn't have had enough time to like duck or like leave the room. But I was like, I really thought I saw something. Like, I'm not even kidding. I still think about that to this day. Anyway, let's read it. This occurred in 2017 and is 100% true. Okay. Due to a multitude of factors, including a recent death of a close friend, I was unbearably depressed at this time in my life. For that reason, my family flew across the country to visit me in LA, where I live. We thought it would be nice to visit Catalina Island, where when we arrived, it became apparent to us that it was the off-season. It was late November and the weather was cold, and as a result, the island was nearly empty because locals and a few straggling tourists, such as ourselves. Our first priority was to ditch our luggage so we could explore the island, so we immediately checked into our motel. Ooh, you lost me at motel. I do not mess with motels. Though that word hardly does the place justice. I call it a motel because all the doors to the rooms exited to the outside, but in actuality, our room was one of 20 to 30 quaint guest house looking buildings arranged in a sort of horseshoe shape around a walkway with rooms on either side of the path. Okay, so it's a nice motel. The entrance to the motel was essentially one of the points of the horseshoe, and if you walk dead straight, you'd reach the room we were given, essentially on the corner before you have to go to go further into the horseshoe. So from our room, one path led back to the street and the other further into the secluded maze of rooms. Stay with me. Yeah, because she knew she was losing me. Okay. After a day of exploring and having just finishing dinner, it was time for the cold, dark walk back to the room. Catalina Island is a decent distance from the mainland, and let me just say, it gets dark. Similarly dark was my head space after the dinner conversation took a left-hand turn and my overwhelming depression got the best of me. I pulled my black hoodie tighter over my freezing ears and walked ahead of my parents to the hotel room, telling them I just needed to get to sleep. And I did, immediately. Depression sometimes makes that easy. I was also losing consciousness as they entered after me, drifting off without so much as a goodnight. I then woke up to my mom saying my name, a harsh whisper. The room had, oh my god, I'm getting chills. The room had two beds, my parents' bed closer to the door and mine further into the room. My mom's voice cut through the silence again. She sounded concerned for me. I didn't blame her considering my mental state at the time. Groggy, I rolled over. What? I asked as my eyes adjusted to the dim moonlight coming in through the curtains. I saw her turn to face me. She was surprised to see me in bed. Her eyes got wide. If I'm in my bed, who was she talking to? We both looked back to where she was previously looking to see a hooded figure in all black standing over their bed. Oh my god. I know this is Let's Not Meet and you are reading this knowing a creepy thing is going to happen. But understand how horrifically startling it is to be on an island in the middle of the ocean and wake up to see a hooded stranger looming over you. This moment seemed to last forever. Okay, so the mom was in her bed looking up at the person standing over her, who she thought was her daughter, only to call the daughter's name and realize the daughter's in bed. So she's like, okay, if my daughter's in bed, then who's standing over me right now? That's creepy. Life isn't like movies where characters unleash a blood-curdling scream. Sometimes the only thing that comes out is something panic and guttural. My mom's words became low and severe as she said my dad's name in a dire voice I've never heard her use. Then the hooded figure did something so bizarre and unsettling. Oh my god. It didn't advance towards us, but instead crouched in the corner near where it stood. I would have just laid back down and act like I didn't see nothing, to be honest. I'm not even gonna lie. I would have just went to sleep. I would have just laid down and I would have just played dead. The way it crouched was so absolutely unexpected, even in regards to this already unexpected situation, that it terrified me. It seemed animalistic. I knew two things. The hooded figure had been standing over us sleeping, and it's not acting in any sort of way that I can understand, as opposed to the infinite moment of this figure standing over us mere seconds ago. The series of events that unfolded when my hulking ex-military dad woke up happened in an instant. Suddenly, we were out the door, not knowing which way the intruder went. My mom was screaming, "Get him, get him!" My dad was running down one path of the horseshoe further into the hotel, shouting through sheer adrenaline, "I'm gonna effing kill you." Oh my god. I ran down the other path toward the street. When I got there, not a sign of the intruder, but it became suspiciously quiet behind me. I ran back to the room to find my dad quietly walking back, his head low. He gets really close to me and I hear him say, "It's a effing kid." Okay, so there's also a little bit of an explanation. Some young teen, tall and lanky, wearing all black, including a black hoodie, went into the wrong room. Our room. The one time my parents just so happened to forget to lock the door. My mom woke up when he entered, seeing a tall person in a black hoodie thought it was me, assumedly leaving the room in a depressing episode. And when the hooded figure crouched, that was him realizing his mistake and panicking. He was scared of us. I could see that. As I got back to my room, my mom walked out and hugs the kid, oh my god, who was now crying his eyes out. Oh my god. I would be too if a massive ex-soldier was sprinting after me with murder in his eyes. So to that now traumatized kid from Catalina Island, I look forward to reading your Let's Not Meet of the same event from your perspective. That's insane. Oh my goodness. So we're just gonna end this video here. I hope you enjoyed. If you guys want to see me do more Let's Not Meet Reddit threads, let me know, because I would love to do more Reddit threads in general. And if there's anything specific that you want me to do, let me know and I would love to. But anyway, you guys, I love you and I will see all of you in my next one.